Did you know that trademark protection solely for the country of Belgium or Luxembourg or the Netherlands are unavailable? The reason for this is that these countries are combined into a region known as Benelux, and trademarks in this region are administered by the Benelux Office of Intellectual Property, BOIP. Successful trademark applications filed with BOIP will result in protection for the entire Benelux territory. In Benelux, ownership of a trademark is acquired through registration, and ownership is determined on a first-to-file basis. Marks are divided into word marks, the name under which product or service is put on the market. Device marks, logos, labels, and words in a specific font or which are presented in a special layout. Shape marks, in certain cases, the three-dimensional shape of a product or packaging can be a mark. Color marks, in exceptional cases, a single color or a combination of colors can be a mark. This is the case when the public recognizes a certain product or service by its color. Sound marks, advertising jingles, are sometimes so well known that the public immediately recognizes what they refer to on hearing it. Trademarks must be distinctive, capable of being represented graphically, not descriptive, not in shapes that result from the nature of the goods themselves or are necessary to obtain a technical result, not immoral, not consist of a flag or emblem protected under the Paris Convention, and not deceive the public. During the application, BOIP will not check whether the mark violates any previously registered trademarks or whether there are related grounds for refusal. An application for registration of a Benelux trademark can be filed in Dutch, French, or English. The addition of English makes Benelux a very interesting choice for Anglophiles wishing to file a trademark in the EU, and a trademark application may be filed in multiple classes under the Nice classification. Now, you could always file in the UK for proceedings to be in English. However, with Brexit on the horizon, this would not be an interesting option for those seeking access to the EU. The exclusive right to a trademark comes into effect once BOIP has registered the application, but before this, the trademark application must be published on the BOIP register for 2 months. The term of protection of a Benelux trademark is 10 years, and it is possible to renew the registration for consecutive 10-year periods. 6 months before the 10-year period expires, the BOIP will notify the owner. Unlike Germany, in Benelux, a trademark applicant does not need to be represented by a local attorney. Only an address located within Benelux is required. Also, while filing fees in Benelux are relatively cheap, approximately €248, filing for an opposition is very expensive, approximately €1,030, especially when compared to the European Union intellectual property opposition fee of approximately €320. Now, you may be thinking, why would I file with BOIP when I can file instead with the European Union Intellectual Property Office, the EU IPO? Well, trademarks registered with BOIP can oppose similar EU IPO trademarks with a later priority date, and Benelux trademarks can only be opposed by other Benelux registered trademarks or EU IPO registered trademarks, and not other EU local national trademarks, which is providing extra protection for your mark. Also, it's very difficult to cancel Benelux registered trademarks, as this requires a full-blown court action with the local courts, which is both costly and complicated, as opposed to the EU IPO, which has low-cost administrative proceedings for all cancellations. In addition, for proof of use, in Benelux, minimum use is sufficient to prove use, where the EU IPO requirements for proof of use are very elaborate and complicated. Lastly, unlike the EU IPO, which requires all non-EU residents or EU domiciled companies to be represented by an EU attorney, which of course is costly, VoIP allows authorized agents to represent foreign applicants for substantially lower costs. If you would like more information on applying for a trademark in Benelux, I suggest you go to the VoIP website at www.boip.int/en. Please feel free to watch more of our videos to get valuable insights about the mechanics of applying for trademark registrations, defending your marks, opposing other conflicting marks, dealing with office actions, and many other intellectual property issues. My name is Jonathan Morton, and I am a licensed U.S. attorney and a member of the TradeMarkers Network. Don't forget to subscribe.